Happy Monday, Believe Nation. We're doing another live. Super excited to be coming at you. Monday is my mentoring day, so spent the whole day so far mentoring the people on my team. Skype calls, Google calls, Hangout calls, Facebook calls, connecting with people. Anyway, I'm excited to go live here, to be on with you. We got a special guest coming in, so let me find her. Let me find her. Here we go. Oops. No, wrong person. Hello, welcome. As people keep joining, there we go. I think I got her. Here we go. It's just B in the house. We're going to bring it. It's just B. And learn a little bit. Meet a new entrepreneur. And there she is.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
So we're here because Devon Trish, who's been part of my community for years, he recently joined as the creative director for my Black Excellence YouTube channel. And he says, you got to get It's Just Be here on the channel. So I'm excited. Why don't you start off by telling us quickly about who you are and your story?
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Bria O'Neill Porter. I am the image architect, and I do mobile services. I have a mobile beauty business. So everything concerning image is what I do. Right now, I have a sole focus on nails, but I've done wardrobe styling. I've done makeup, anything that makes the person look and feel good.
And how was COVID treating you?
COVID's treated me good. I enjoyed it. I'm very much an introvert, so being in the house was a great time for me. I did a lot of reflecting, a lot of planning, so I loved it.
And are you open now? Like, can you go take your shop to people? So, like, can you go do that now?
So, actually, a lot of people have been seeking us out because they're not comfortable going into the salons per se. So I just pack up everything and I go to their homes.
And I looked at your website and it's awesome, and
Thank you.
Your story on there, and I love all the brush strokes and everything. Why this? Like, what? Helping people feel beautiful, and especially women, I guess it looks like from the website. Why did you get interested in this as a business?
So growing up, I definitely struggled with self-esteem. A lot of times I was teased for having full lips and being hairy and things like that, things that you think as friends, like you shouldn't be saying this, or be teased or bullied for things like that. And it really took a toll on my life. And even to the point that when I was younger, I was just like, these are supposed to be my friends. And I was contemplating suicide young, just because I wasn't being accepted. And it's like, what else can I do or make myself be for you to accept me? And as I got older, I realized my power was within being myself. I don't have to conform or be anybody else. My power is that I stand up for myself. I fix and present myself how I want to be received. And that's it. I'll always win as long as I'm being myself. And it just helped. I figured once I got free, I was able to be free for others. And I can allow them to just be themselves, hence the name Just Be.
Yeah, I love it. I've got my nails done once. Painted them bright orange. And what happened was, so I also run a dance school here in Toronto, Canada. And we teach 5,000 or so people a year how to dance. And
wow.
One of my dance teams won a local dance competition.
Really?
And they're mostly women. And so as a celebration for winning, I took them to a local nail salon.
Okay.
And so I'm there, and they have a man manicure or something, where they just I don't know, they just clean or whatever. And one of the women asked me, "Hey, Evan, are you gonna get your nails done too?" And I'm like, no. But in the back of my head was also, why am I saying no? Because I'm afraid. One, because it's not how I express myself, which is true. I mean, I don't wear nail polish. It's not how I express. Yeah. But it's also because I'm afraid. And I like to take on things that make me afraid. And so I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I painted, so they said, if you can match my logo was like this orange airplane. So if you can match that, we'll do it. And immediately I'm thinking, how many videos do I have to record, and who am I speaking to, and the self,
Right.
But the very next thing is I left the nail salon. My wife was in the group too, so she got her nails done. Man, I didn't want to touch anything, because you don't want to. I didn't want to damage my nails.
Right.
And I asked my wife to open the door for me because I was worried about scratching my nails. Anyway, wow. She's like, I got my nails done too, but you're used to it. You've done it so many times. This is my first time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you found that you can help people express and find their confidence by making them look more beautiful through the nails and through the beauty products that they're using.
Yeah, and I'm very big on your character matching that so that it's not so, what do we call it, vain. It's not a vanity-driven business. It's more so getting to know the person so that I can accurately represent them. Because some people just don't know. Like, they just pick things because, oh, well, this is trending. But it's like, no, but will that best represent you? So then maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should go with this color. Or some people are so restricted with work. Like, no, I have to do, like, calmer colors. So let's stay in the more neutral range. But they're just doing it just to satisfy something that doesn't necessarily reflect who they are as a person.
So how do you? So you're a psychologist, right?
In a sense,
you got to pull it out. So how do you do that? What questions do you ask? What's the process you go through to help figure that out?
It's kind of just a natural thing for me. Typically, I'll ask them, well, what color did you want to do today? If we're referring to nails, I would say, what color did you want to do today? And sometimes I notice about their personality if they can't make a decision. They normally can't make a decision in life. It's not just when it comes to colors. So I just pay attention to everything. If they typically always go bright, they just always want to stand out. Or if it's something more like, oh, no, I'll just do something. They don't really want to be seen. And I just play off of that as we go through the service. And I just ask direct questions. I'm not really much of a small talker. So we don't really have boring conversations. By the time they leave, I'm like, I know who they're married to, their kids, their mom, like I know so many details by the time it's over.
You're part life coach.
Yeah.
Part life coach, part image consultant.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So people watching, if you have questions, let us know. We'll pop them in here, and we'll get to as many as we can, and hopefully help you guys with your problems too. Somebody asking, what's your goal for today?
My goal for today is, one, to just reach out, bring some exposure to my brand, and just encourage whoever may be watching, especially because it's the first one for the Black Excellence, and so empower other Black people that may be watching that you can do it. You can be a successful entrepreneur or business owner in life with whatever you decide to do.
How much have you felt racism or prejudice against you when starting up this business? Like, are there issues? Obviously there's issues, but in specifically being an entrepreneur and starting your company, how much have you felt it?
More so with booking services. Like, a lot of times I've gone to clients' homes and then they just kind of pause because they're not expecting me. Like, if they got referred, they didn't necessarily go to my website and see me first. So your first initial reaction is just like, oh, I didn't know you were the owner type thing. Like, they just think I'm one of the workers. Okay. But outside of that, it's never really been so much in business.
You don't feel it?
That I've experienced it, no.
But in life? In
life, absolutely.
Okay. And how much is it, and what I'm curious too from like the female perspective. So how much of it do you think is, I was talking to a woman, another Black entrepreneur last week, I think. I don't think it went on the channel, but she was saying in business, she has a harder time being a woman, and in life, she has a harder time being Black. Does that connect? Is that
absolutely? I can give you one thing verbatim. So I wanted to do. I moved to California in 2016 because I wanted to do wardrobe styling for film.
Okay.
And I was the only Black girl in the class that I took. And then they did one-on-ones with us to let us know about our resume and how we could position ourselves to start going out for jobs, trying to get on set and things like that. And my teacher said, I'm going to be very frank with you. I said, okay. She said, in California, it's so saturated out here that it's going to be very challenging for you. One, because you're Black. Two, because you're a Black woman. So you're going to have to fight way harder to try to get on set than the average person would. It has nothing to do with your qualifications. The fact that you studied in this exact same course with everybody else. It's just the fact that you are a woman and you're a Black woman.
And
so she said, I would suggest you have a better option in Chicago. That's where I'm from, so I live. Okay. Go back to Chicago and you'll have a better opportunity because more of the tax credits and things like that are here, and we're a bit more diverse in the industry.
And so do you hear that and say, this isn't fair, or you hear that and say, I'm going to make it happen? Like, where does your mind go? Or to both?
I go into both because I'm a very resilient person. First, it's just one of those shocking things like, wow, this is really life. Like this is really how we go about it. But I understood it. So I just was like, oh, okay. And then it makes me want to kick into go mode. It's like, okay, you say no, but I got to find a way to make it happen. Don't tell me I can't. Yeah, don't tell me I can't. Don't tell me I can't. Okay, I love it. Okay, let's get to another question here. Okay, so James is saying, should I be focusing on building my personal brand or business brand on socials? All right, the image consultant here. Should we focus on building a personal brand or business brand? I would say both.
Okay. What have you done? Like this is the business account.
Yeah, so I started off with personal, and then I veered solely into business, and then I started blending the two. Okay. Because I wanted my story to be felt through it. I wanted it all to be one. It's like I am the image architect, so I don't put on a role, I am that. So you should see that reflected whether you were on my personal page that may just have a few more baby pictures or something like that than when you come to my business page and you see all my work. Because some people don't want the two, but because I am my brand, it works. But some people don't want to see your pets with your car. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on what the brand is that you're building.
I think for entrepreneurs, that's the easiest. Like, that's how you win is your story. Mm-hmm. I think even people knowing your story about how that happened to you in school and you were told go home to Chicago, even from that was even from a loving place, not like a suck place. That's like, hey, I'm trying to help you. I'm going to give you the truth. Go home to Chicago, and I got Kanye my wall here, Chicago too. Yeah, go home to Chicago. Just telling that story already, like putting that on your Instagram and putting that on your website, will make people want to hire you to do nails in Cali. Yeah, because they know you now. You're not just another nail. So, like, how many nail spas or nail salons are there in California? It's a lot. I mean, sure, you're mobile, maybe it's a little bit different, but knowing that that's what you went through. Anybody who can at all relate to that is going to want to hire you. Yeah. Have you be the one that they call.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. What's your favorite question when you're trying to figure out somebody's identity and then express that into nails? Like, what is your favorite question to ask people?
Honestly, I don't really have a favorite question. It's just more so I have peak experiences when they don't really know what's happening, but they go with the flow. Like they just let me guide it in a sense. But I don't have like set go-to questions that I go to every single time because each person is different. Some people barely give anything in our sitting. So it just depends, honestly.
You just vibe everybody out.
Yep.
I love it. That's great. Have you started teaching them? Like, you have people under you that you're now training to do this as well?
Yes, my niece, Anaya. So she's 13 years old, and she's fully into beauty, and she's just talented all over. So I've been training her up to do the same thing as well. So she helps me out. So
how do you train? This is where a lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time. Like, how do you train that when there's no favorite question or no specific process, and like you just got to feel it? How do you train the feeling to your 13-year-old niece?
Well, with her, I noticed that we're a lot alike. So with her being younger, she was a lot like me. So because we're introverts, she's at the stage in life where she's just like, I'm an introvert and I don't have to change. I never have to put on and go into character pretty much. Because as an introvert, you have to I have to choose to start talking and engaging with somebody. She doesn't necessarily feel that's necessary, but since I was once her, I can speak to that and say like, yeah, we are generally quiet. We do want to be by ourselves majority of the time. However, when it comes to business, you have to show up in this light. And she gets it. Even at her young age, she's just like, okay, I get that. I'm like, you like money, right? Okay, well, this is what you have to do to get it. And she's like, okay, cool. She gets it.
Is that part of your vision for what you want to, like, you want to have lots of people under you kind of buying franchises or, yeah? Okay.
Absolutely, especially because my story started when I was younger. I want to rescue as many young girls as I can. Absolutely. Especially family legacy as well, so.
I like how you said that. Like, you want to, how did it rescue you? Like, what did you have to go through that you felt rescued from that now you want to help other girls through?
Loving myself at the end of the day, trusting myself, trusting my worth, and then not settling, because a lot of the things that I went through, some of it stemmed from jealousy. So I had to not say that what's wrong with me, but go deeper and say what could be causing them to say the things they're saying about me. What's causing them to feel the way they feel? It's not me. I'm not the problem solely. And once I started to begin to love myself and focus on the things that I am good at, focus back then is like, granted it's comical now with having a mustache, things like that. But when you're older, okay, waxing exists. So if that's the problem, I can take care of that. You know what I mean? It's not a thing. If I don't, it's not like I just wake up and want one. You do what you have to do in order to present yourself. So if I can instill that while they're young, I can push them to where they need to go.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some more questions. So, Kamal saying, how to deal with your insecurities. Thank you.
The easiest way to deal with your insecurities is to strengthen your strengths and to weaken your weaknesses. Okay. Once I started doing that, my insecurities didn't matter because I was so focused on what I'm good at. And that you can hire what you're weak at. You know what I mean? If I'm not a talkative person, I can hire an assistant that's more talkative. Then you don't run into the fact that I just rather not. You know what I mean? You're going to meet what I am good at, and what I am good at is getting into you as a person.
And I think especially as an entrepreneur, to surround yourself with people who are great at it, or even see if you even need it. Like, do you need to have somebody who's super talkative? Do you even, like, we look at other people and their businesses and what they've done, and we always compare ourselves as opposed to saying, no, I'm doing this my own way. Like, absolutely, I'm going to build the introvert's version of, you know, the nail salon.
And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. But it's like, but this is weird because most, you know, we're going to come in and have real talk, not small talk. Yeah. Right? Where most people, when they go in, it's just small talk and gossip. And I think of like the barbershop equivalent, I guess, for guys. There's like sports and, you know, weather and like stuff that doesn't matter. Right. Right. I'm not going in and getting life coaching. Right. So
and I don't even think it feels like that to them. Now I'm gonna have to like put out a questionnaire and ask, like, do I make you guys feel like? But once it's your thing, it just happens. You know, it just flows.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's having the courage to know that you're different, and that's great, as opposed to trying to feel bad that you don't conform to what everybody else wants you to be. Yeah,
because it stands out when you do that. It doesn't feel authentic in your delivery at all. So, absolutely.
I love it. Okay. Ryan is writing, how to find purpose in life.
I would say focus on the things that excite you. Typically that leans you towards what you're supposed to be doing, things that come naturally to you. I always knew that I wanted to help people. Growing up, I would do, like, if I got birthday money or things like that, I would gift them and do makeovers for people because it just came from me. I always wanted to serve and help and just create these images for people. And I was young doing that. It's like, who takes their own birthday money and do that? Like, you would think you would go spend it on yourself or something like that. But it's just like, no, actually, I think you deserve an outfit. You do a lot. You're a single mom. You take care of your kids by yourself. You're deserving of this break. And I would do it.
Yeah, I think your purpose comes from your pain. Like, whatever you struggled the most with, you want to help other people through. And I love what you were saying of you want to save as many girls as possible, especially young girls who don't have confidence, who think they're ugly, who don't fit in, and help them realize that they can be confident and can, it's like, because that's what you were.
Yeah.
And you can make that path easier for the next generation so that they don't have to struggle and suffer as much as you did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you gone down the route of like speaking? Like, have you gone back to your old high school or anything and tried to connect?
No, not with my old school. I definitely have gone into schools though, and I even taught, like, we did a segment about self-esteem. I did a beauty camp one summer too.
Okay.
Beauty one-on-one camp, and that included self-esteem and personal hygiene and fitness, the importance of taking care of yourself, because you always want to blend the two again so that it doesn't just become personal vanity. I don't want a bunch of, like, what do I call it, dressing up dysfunction. That's not the goal. I want whole people that mirror what they're talking about and who they are.
That's a really cool distinction. Like, I think a lot of people just try to cover up as opposed to, so how do you break through that? How do you help them see it as expression and not ego or overconfidence?
I get them to them. I talk to them and get to what makes them them. And that helps them to come through whatever it is that they're doing. So if I have a very creative client. So if she sits down, when she sits down with me, I can't go to her and just show her a regular color. She's going to pick like 6. And I said, that's cool. Let's do that. Let's try this, because this is who you are. If I was to just be like, no, you really should just try this one color. It really doesn't require all of that. That's right. Binding her to conforming her to something that's not her. So it won't work. So
she doing six colors on like
she
one nail each
I
color?
Think she's watching right now.
Okay.
So she pushes me to go further and further. And I want to say she at least has 5 colors on right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed by it. Jump into it.
Not at all.
Anika Kai saying, can you talk a little bit about how you bring our true personality out, even when we don't know what it is?
I would say I speak to who you are and how I've received you in that moment. Let's say if this is a first time guest, because I do a questionnaire. If we were doing this for wardrobe, let's put it for that. And I go into how, if I know for sure that you are a neutral color, but then when you get to me, you think it sounds good to say you like leopard and zebra and all this other stuff, I'm going to let you write that. But then when we engage one another, I'm going to say, now what made you say this? Because from what I got from you, this doesn't parallel. And then it's just like, oh, well, I thought that's what was trending right now. Or this is what my mom always told me looked best on me. So many things of how we were wired plays a point in that, how we're brought up. So I'm able to kind of filter through it.
I think what you do is also make people feel comfortable to actually have a genuine conversation without being judged.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to go wild, you're not going to judge them. If somebody wants to do boring pastels, you're not going to judge them, right? It's like you just create a space for people to actually be themselves in a environment where they may not get that anywhere else.
Right.
Like they go home, they're being judged. They go to work, they're being judged. They're with their friends, they're being judged. They come to you, it's like, oh, I can just
be.
Right there it is. I can just be. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a great skill set too, to try to think about, how do you take what you're doing and replicate it, even thinking how do I train other people to do this, whether it's your niece or people watching the replay, all that, like how do you create a space for people to just be, because even before you've even said anything, there's already an energy that you give off.
Yeah.
How do you people are coming in with their own work life crazy and their own fears and insecurities. If somebody wants to create that space for others in their own business, what would you recommend that they do?
I would recommend that they stay settled. When you're in a calm space, you're not really flustered. So as long as you're settled and you keep your why in front of you, I think that definitely, it just brings a peace so that you're not frantic and all over the place.
So
I think it makes it easier.
if you've had a crazy day, something happened, you know, just you're upset about it, sad about it, and then you're about to go meet a new client for the first time, how do you shift to be present for them and not remember like the chaos that just happened to you?
I'm either very quiet before I go in, meaning I'm not listening to anything. I'm settling myself. I'm literally woosahing in the car.
You do what?
Like a woosah. I just breathe.
A woosah? Okay, breathing. Okay.
I'm like, it's all right. I'll even go into like the time, like it'll only be a few more minutes of this, and you just got to make it happen. I also focus on the fact that they're not responsible for everything that just took place prior to me meeting them. So it's not on them for me to come in with attitude, let me hurry up and get you out. I don't want to do this. Like, you feel energy and you feel presence. And I would never want to do that for somebody you're just straight. This is our first time encountering each other, or you're my last person of the day, whatever the case may be. I have to collect myself, or I either listen to worship music before I go in. It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I like it. No, I like it. Like you have a routine to center yourself before showing up.
Absolutely.
Don't show up like an accident. I love it.
No.
It's crazy how quickly time flies when you're having fun. For
I know, right?
Who wanna learn more about you? Just be your website or your Instagram. Like, what's the next best place for them to find out more about your world?
So you can follow me. You can go to my website at www.brea, B-R-E-A, O'Neil, O-N-E-I-L.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at ITS_justB.
Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your story and the
Thank
love.
you so
and the
much for
energy.
having me.
It was great to make the first connection, and I look forward to following your ongoing journey.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take
care. Bye,
care.
everybody.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.